There are 8 new rules of money that I want to talk to us about within the brevity of time that is available to me. Number 1, knowledge is the new money. Knowledge is the new money. In the world that you and I live in today, those who know rule over those who do not know. If you are not informed, you will be deformed. If you are not inspired, you will expire. If you are not updated, you will become outdated. Those who know rule over those who do not know. What you know determines how far you go, because information is the key to transformation. When you sit down in a meeting like this, listening to all the speakers as they were bringing forth information, as they were sharing different things with you, thoughts and ideas were flowing. All you need to do is to know what you did not know before now. Get out of this place and do what you need to do with what you know so that you can go to where you have never been to before. So it's very, very important for you as an individual to realize and recognize that knowledge is the new money. In this world today, it's all about knowledge. Knowledge. I remember when I started out on the journey of wealth creation in 1998. I started going to the UK in 1997, and every time I go into the UK, I started doing business in the UK. I was a major supplier of books and videos and all stuff to different stores in Peckham, all over the UK. If you know anybody in the UK between 1998 and 2003 that were into anything that selling of home videos, selling of books, Christian materials, when you ask for them, I was a major supplier. But guess what? Every time I'm traveling to the UK, I'll travel with 10 bags, 15 bags. And when I get there, I will spend 2-3 hours with custom, settling different things. But within those 5 years, I was also upgrading myself in the part of information. And then many, many years later, I will never forget, I think it was 2002 or 2003, I went to the UK to speak. I'd been invited to come and do a training for an organization. They paid for my business class ticket, they paid for my hotel, and I charged them £10,000 and they paid in advance. So I was going into the UK, they paid £10,000 into my account for a 2-day weekend training. It was a Friday and Saturday, and I came in on a Thursday. And when I was coming into the UK, I had just my jacket bag with me. And when I got to the airport, you have one door that says something to declare, and you have the other door that says nothing to declare. And in those days, when I used to do that business, I used to pass through something to declare, because even though the books were not taxable, the CDs were taxable. I had to do all that. So this particular day, I was going to nothing to declare. And as I was going, it just dropped. And it was like, okay, why are you passing through nothing to declare? And I'm like, oh, I don't have bags. He said, but you are coming to declare something. I said, yes. And it just dawned on me. He said, do you know that they have paid you £10,000 already and you have not yet said anything? He said, now, what is the difference between the time you used to carry Ghana Must Go and go from one train station to the other? He said, what's the difference between then and now? He said, the difference is knowledge. He said, now you are not selling goods and services. You are selling information. He said, and now you don't need to carry big bag. You don't need to carry anything. You are coming in now, but you are making more money with information than when you were carrying bags. And I thought, wow. So knowledge is the new money. So it's very, very important for you to realize that every time you see an opportunity to learn, please do everything you can to go and learn, because the money of today is no more what you think money was. If you read the School of Money book, you will see how that we are transcended. It used to be the agrarian age, then became the industrial age, and the rich people of today, they are not the people that have factories and industries. No. The rich people of today are those that are selling information and ideas. The top companies in the world today, from Google to Amazon, what are they selling? So it's all about knowledge. Number 2, you must learn how to use debt. You must learn how to use that. The second new rule is you must learn how to use that. You see, when a poor man, Ali Baba was just amazing. Wow. When a poor man hears debt or will, or they just shut down, debt. And the richest man in Africa today is Dangote, and he's a debtor. Dangote is owing banks millions of dollars, yet he's the richest man. How? It's because there are different kinds of debt. There is good debt, there is bad debt, and there is no debt. Now, good debt is a leverage, bad debt is a bondage. But you see, the problem with the poor is that they embrace bad debts And because they have embraced that bad debt and they have been born by bad debt, because the borrower is always a servant to the lender in bad debt, they now turn around to say, I don't want to owe anybody, owe no one nothing. But they don't realize that good debt is a leverage. Using other people's money helps you to move faster instead of waiting for your own money. And that's why you find out that the rich and wealthy people, they still have bank loans. Why? Because they have realized, instead of using my hard-earned cash, why not leverage on the money of people that don't have knowledge? Because they don't have knowledge, they put their money in the bank thinking it's security. So since they don't have knowledge of what to do with their money, let me help them spend their money to make more money for myself. Hello? Let me tell you the easiest one, the lowest hanging fruit. Do you know that many of you have worked in companies before where you have opportunity to collect staff loan, interest-free, you never collected? Why? You were afraid. But guess what? If you had collected the staff loan, they would have been deducting the money from your salary. That is advanced savings. You did not collect the loan. Even you collected salary, you still could not save. The loan would have helped you to save by fire, by force. You could have collected the staff loan. You could have bought Uber Corolla. And that one will be working for you. And you will still be collecting your salary. You could have collected the staff loan and opened a barbering salon or opened a hairdressing salon. And that will be working for you. Why? But I don't want to hire anybody. Now you have left a company that was giving you free loan. You are now in a company where there is no staff loan. There is nothing. To get 30,000, you now discover how difficult it is to see somebody to borrow you money. So the new rule of money is what? Learn how to use what? Debt. So when you have an opportunity to access funds and you know what to do with the funds, if you are accessing funds at 5%, 9%, 11%, 15%, and you know what to do with the funds that can give you 20, 25, 30, 40%, what do? You take the fund, you invest it, the return from your investment will pay for the fund, and then you move on. Turn to your number, say, I'm learning. Number 3. You must learn how to control and manage your cash flow. You must learn how to control and manage your cash flow. Cash flow is the lifeblood of any individual and the lifeblood of businesses. So you must learn how to control cash flow. Now listen and listen well. Even a profitable business can go bankrupt when there is no cash flow. And I see a lot of people, they make money, but because they don't know how to manage the money, they are not able to multiply the money and they end up in debt. Listen and listen well. It is not how much you make that matters. It is what you do with what you make that matters. And if you don't know how to manage your cash flow, you will not know how to balance between your income and your expenditure. And once your expenditure is greater than your income, your upkeep will become your downfall. So you need to sit down and know how to manage cash flow. And in cash flow management, it begins with number 1, proper documentation. You must be able to document and track down every income and every expenditure in your life. When you're able to sit down to document every income and expenditure, you will know where your income comes from. And you'll be able to make intentional and strategic decisions about increasing your income. When you have a documentation of your expenditure, you will know what are the dead weights that are taking your expenditure. Debola was talking about settling down for things that does not profit you just because you are falling in love with an idea that is not producing money. Instead of you moving forward, you are so much in love with an idea that you should shut down. How will it be said that I shut it down? Listen to me. I'm standing before you right now. In the course of my lifetime, I have done about 14 different businesses. About 11 of them has failed. That has gone bankrupt completely. But let me tell you something. If you have one master breakthrough, it will cover for everything else. So it's very, very important to know that everybody you are looking at today, if they start telling you their story, they will tell you of things they have shut down, things that didn't work. So you must understand how to manage your cash flow. And it begins with that documentation. I can show you one of the organizations we started 26 years ago that is now a global organization. I can show you December 1995. I can show you the book of the income from 1995 to date. I can show you the book of expenditure to date. In my personal life, since 1997, Timothy is here, they have seen the book. Since 1997, I've showed them. Since 1997, every income that has entered my life, I can show you. All the books are in my house. Every expenditure since 1997, I can show you. And that is why I always have a better year. You know why? I sit down and I say, okay, this year now, okay, you mean all this labor? Now only this one I produce. I be like say this is a waste of time. Oh, this one a welfare. This one a charity. Okay, you mean you mean this month? Okay, Pareto, 80-20. So if this is what is bringing more money, next year, let me focus on this one. By the next year, I focus more on what is bringing money and I spend less time on what is not producing money. Then I come to the expenditure column and I say, you mean this thing is costing me this much? Devourer lele you. So he said, devourer, I can't do this anymore. Because many times when people are thinking of getting rich and getting wealthy, they're always thinking of having more income or increasing their income. Reducing your expenditure will make you more wealthy without any extra income. Just reducing your expenditure. Because for many people, the problem is too much expenditure. They enter into what we call the Parkinson's disease. You know, the Parkinson's law says that expenditure will always rise up to meet with income. And that's the problem for many people.